Hello and welcome to another video. It's been quite a while now since I made the last one, so I thought I'd take the chance to answer some of the many questions that I'm still getting about Quest metal detectors. I made no secret right from the beginning that I really enjoyed the machines. I think they're very good, and I think they're right up there in the market in terms of performance and quality. But I have to make it clear, because this question's been asked to me quite a few times, I don't get paid by Quest. No one else pays me to say anything about them. So the reviews are just my opinion, and they're honest and unbiased views. Yeah, I do get sent these machines to test, but again, like other machines that I've tested, if I don't think they're cutting the mustard, then I'll say as much. So what I thought would be a good idea is to do something that other people probably don't do, and I've been guilty of not doing this, is to do a follow-up, i.e. nearly a year down the line of using both these machines. How they're getting on, what do I still think of them? Well, as I say, we're nearly a year into owning these machines, and I've done a lot of detecting with them, probably more than your average person, and they've been in all different terrains. Faults wise, and normally you need to be using these things for 6, 7, 8 months or more before things start to crop up with them. Now, we've all heard the horror stories about other machines, other leading manufacturers, that their sort of showpiece detectors, they've got problems with things like coils snapping off the shaft, wobbly shafts, and all the other things that we like to go on about. I found none of that with the Quest. Now, the Q30, I've run it with its standard coil. The Q60, I have to admit that I've been using the Black Dog coil on there. Really enjoyed that. The 13x13 really suits that machine. So the Black Dog coil stood up, and the standard Quest blade coil has stood up well as well. The shaft is still as sort of solid and as tight as the day when I took them both out the box. Importantly, the cam studs, where I spend most of my time detecting up here, is really sandy soil, and often the cam locks and the 3-piece shafts can start to sort of gum up with that fine dust and sand that gets in there, and they become quite sticky and quite hard to sort of collapse down when you put them in the car. These haven't done that. They've carried on working faultlessly. The cam locks are really, really good, and the square shafts that's on these detectors, again, have stood up and have done really well. One of the things that has started to sort of come to the forefront, and it's a really minor fault, is the arm cup. The arm cup's held on by one sort of Phillips screw, and over time it can work its way loose, and it's done that several times, and I've just got a Phillips screwdriver, I've tightened them up, and then over time it'll come loose again. And both the Q30 and the Q60 have done this. Really simple fix. I got a bit of Loctite from the garage, put it onto the screw, tightened it up, and then they've not come loose since. And that's really the only major fault I've found them so far. Performance wise, I still stick to what I said at the beginning. I think they're some of the best in terms of the recovery speed. They can be quite chatty at times. Now, I use lots of different machines. For a long time, my go-to was the Equinox 800, of which I've still got, and it has its place. I still use it for different things, but as an everyday machine, each time I'll pick up the Q30 or the Q60, and this is over nearly 12 months of using them. I haven't got bored of them yet. I haven't thought that perhaps I'll use my other machines more. In fact, so much so that I've just recently got back from a sort of 10-day tour of the UK that saw me do probably about 1,500 miles. Travelled down to Cumbria, detected down there, detected in Yorkshire, detected down in Suffolk. Suffolk, for those of you down there, you're lucky people. It is one of my most favourite places to detect. And then we sort of travelled back up the road and carried on detecting up here. The machine that I took with me, out of all the ones that I have sort of sat here, was the Q60. So I think that says a lot. When I'm going away for 10 days, I didn't take a backup machine, and that's the faith that I've got in it. I picked that out of all the other machines and took it with me, and didn't for a minute think I should have brought something else in, and didn't regret it at all. Day to day, when I'm heading out to meet the guys or I go out and detect, it's the Q60 or the Q30 that I'm taking with me. These Quest metal detectors, somehow, probably not so much now, but people are still wondering, who are they? Are they any good? What are they? They are, in my opinion, holding their own with some of the top brands. And I think some of the top brands, and you'll probably watch the other videos that I've done, and you'll have maybe read the reviews that I've written over on my otis88metaldetecting.com website. Other brands, and I mean top manufacturers, need to be looking at how these machines are put together, because the quality and the build of these machines and some of the small little features that you put onto them are something that they should be doing. And the price, the Q30, hugely competitive on price, and the Q60, yeah, it's more expensive. It's up in the sort of £700 range, and you're thinking, do I go with an Equinox or do I go with other manufacturers? You're going to have to make that decision. If I now had to choose between the two, it'd be a tough decision, and that's how much faith I have in them. So where I'm going with this short video, for those of you who are still wondering, would you have a Quest as a primary machine, a secondary machine? I know a lot of you have messaged me over the last sort of 8-12 months and asked me about them, and I've sort of told you my thoughts. Yeah, I'd absolutely recommend going for them. I'm really enjoying it. If you're looking for something different, then perhaps this is the machine for you at the moment. There's nothing brand new that's being tested, so these are still new machines. There's still something different and something quite exciting, and the key thing to them is there's several manufacturers that are making different aftermarket coils for them, so you can mix and match the coils. You can use different coils for different things, so you've got more options with them as well. I've had them on the beach. I'm not a huge fan of beach detecting. I tend not to do it, other than if I'm sort of everything's in crop or something like that, but they work great on the beach. The last one I had on the beach was the Q60. It worked fine. Most of the beach detecting I've done has been with the Equinox. Now, we all know the Equinox is a fantastic machine on the beach, but the Q60, again, it's quick, its recovery speed is fantastic, and it worked well. All the different terrains I've been in, so I've been on lots of different places. That now I've been on Roman sites, medieval sites, Victorian, and everything in between. They've worked fantastically well. So what am I saying with this video? What I'm saying is, a year in, I'm still enjoying them. They're still as good as the day I took them out of the box. They're solid. I've found no faults, and there's been no software faults. They're still working really, really well. The Quest Go app was a bit of a pain initially, but Quest have been really good. They've been on the ball. They've updated the app for both iOS and Android. And in terms of updating to the latest software for your Quest machine, it's really, really easy. You hook it up to, via your phone, and it's about 30 to 40 seconds to download the new software, and it's a really, really simple process. There's lots of more facilities and features on that app as well. So if you're thinking about a Quest, if you're wondering, I would say go for it. People looking for a new, cheaper entry-level machine, the Quest X5 and X10, really cheap machines, really well-performing machines. There's lots of options depending on sort of your budget, how big or how small your wallet may be. So if you want to have a look at something different, definitely give them a go. If you've got any more questions on Quest, or you want me to do any more sort of testing or instructional videos, I have some others up on my channel here, then stick them in the comments, and we'll see what we can do for you. Until then, goodbye.